Grüezi, mein Name ist Kusi von
Hello guys, welcome to our first weekly workshop and the start of our paper trading competition. It's our first stream on YouTube and with a very fresh setup, so bear with us so that we have all the pieces together. We are looking at an interesting week. Today a lot of red, but nothing bad, I'd say, with maybe a couple of exclusions. However, what's on the plan for today? We do have a general introduction to MachinaTrader for those who haven't seen MachinaTrader yet and who don't know about MachinaTrader. So this will just be a brief overview, specifically with a quick update on where we are at with the current version 2.08 and what's to happen also with the coming update, which is in anticipation of verified live trading, as live trading was in but yet not verified, means that it was not fully tested through. So there is an update coming where this is being taken care of with the feedback that we have received from the community. There will be additionally actually a couple of more adapters in this update, and that will be then the last step before the big update, where we are starting to see the first traditional broker connections as well. I'm talking about not only crypto but also the connections to brokers such as interactive brokers. That being said, let's quickly jump into what you see as the MachinaTrader dashboard. MachinaTrader comes when you buy it on the retail platform as an online instance, which is your own server. So it's not a shared infrastructure or something like that. You have your own servers, and on that server you have your own encryption keys, and so your API keys are highly secure. MachinaTrader also makes a direct connection to the brokers you interact with. There is no data servers in between. Our data servers only interact with your instance when your instance needs to acquire historical data for backtesting and further. You do have the option to customize this dashboard. That's not only, of course, day and night mode and etc. and the color, but of course also you have the option to add custom widgets. So you could copy different widgets or write your own widget code and add it here as a quick example. I'm just quickly building a widget with ChatGPT. Can you build a funny HTML JavaScript widget that makes a joke? Give me the full code of the script. Let's see. Of course, this is only to show how this works. So we have saved this, and here we have our random joke generator. Tell me a joke, here is our joke. So this is how you can add different widgets to MachinaTrader. So you could also copy and paste any kind of widget that you find on the internet, such as we have used here the Coin360 crypto markets widget, or here the Twitter widget as well. You do have a choice of a couple of more widgets in our download area here. However, they are going to be reworked, so we're going to give more of those, and we're going to open a public repository with widgets as well, so the community can interact. So that being said, you have the chance to really, add all the information that you want to have a full spectrum overview of what's important to you. You do also see what your Machinas is doing. I have here one Machina running. It didn't do any trades yet. I just started this. I'm actually going to quickly turn this off for the moment and turn it back on later. So now let's have a look at the most important parts. So when you want to create a Machina, you would naturally go, just a sec, you should close this window here, this as well, and then you would just choose your account. And this is actually the area where you will be able to activate live trading. You just click that button. There is now the opportunity that you could do it in the backend configuration back here in the exchanges config. That's because it's not verified yet. Once we have the verified version, this button here will be active and you can turn it on, and then you will be able to enter your API key and API secret for the respective exchange that you want to work on. And then you go to the next step, you choose strategies, and then you have your strategy repository. You see that I do already have a new strategy that you guys don't have, which is the bull trend down here. I'm going to share the code after the session. Today is merely to show you how to work with this strategy and play around and the main components. So if you are fond of a strategy and say, oh, this is the one I want to use, in this case I'm going to use our super trend strategy, and then you're going to be able here to set the periods for where you want to run it, the base currency. I'm going to take US dollars, and then you could just add like the top whatever. In our case, I actually don't like that too much because I want to go and do BTC and Ethereum. now. Then on the right side I do have my different strategy settings. For now I do not want to plot these and these. I use the SMA check, that's okay. I'm actually going to go with this. And I'm happy. So now you see that the new Machina was created for 2 coins on the 15-minute period on Binance. I do also have a new menu entry over here for this respective Machina, which has its own submenu with all the different items such as the dashboard configuration, the order view, logs, console, and insights. I'm going to quickly show you how all of this looks like. So this is the dashboard. It's not too interesting yet as we don't have any trades yet, so I'm going to start this Machina. You can now see the status here, it's initializing. In the meantime, we can quickly go and have a look on our console, where we see exactly what the Machina is doing. Both we see what the Machina engine is doing, which is the engine that runs everything, the system. And on the right side you have the strategy log, where you see all the details of what the strategy is doing at this point in time. Let me quickly do this. Wonderful. Seems good. And then we are quickly going to check here again, because I obviously need to stop this one more time. So here you have all of our configurations that you could go and set to override the base settings of the strategy. And you still have the base settings here that we already configured. In the wizard you do here have the strategy settings that we already configured, but additionally here you have buy settings. So I'm just going to adjust a couple of things, such as here the amount we want to invest per trade. In the buy settings you do have options such as the limitation of the amount of positions that you want to have in, globally as well as per coin. In our case that's 20 position globally and 1 position per coin. I'm actually going to make this 2 positions per coin just for the fun of it. And over here I'm going to go on arrows as well, just to make sure we have no timeouts on the strategy. You do also here have stop loss settings that you could configure, as well as trailing stop loss over here, and of course auto close as well. So once you're happy with all the settings, you save it, run it again. So this is now a running machine. And now let's go have a look at insights. So what does insights show me? Insights shows me exactly what is activated and active inside the strategy. That means all the different settings, are they activated or not activated? What is the setting exactly? So you have a full overview of what's going on this end. Same thing for the strategy. You do see exactly what indicators or what the strategy model. On this side you see exactly what the parameters are and what the respective setting is. Over here you do have the general result summary. Here you will get the charting information for every indicator while the strategy is running. We will come back to this in a bit. And here you will get the orders as well as the orders events. Alright then. What we wanted to look into actually also today is a bit into the actual strategy development and optimizing of strategies. So I'm quickly going to show you the super trader strategy, which is this. That's the one we have just started over here. All of the strategies that come initially with MachinaTrader are open source strategies, so you can use them, write them, use them as examples. Basically, you do have a couple of important parts in the strategy area. You do have the class for your actual strategy, you do have the initial setting of the parameters for your strategies and the default values and so forth. After that, you do have the initialize area, where you initialize, that would also be the area where you, for instance, define how much trade bars back you need data so the algorithm can heat up correctly. And here you see that with bars back actually. And then over here you do have the on trade bar. That means with every candle. That's the function that comes here. So that's actually the on candle logic. And then down here you have the calculation for the different indicators. And at the end there is the plotting for the charting area. And here you see the class for our supertrend data at the end. So that being said, you do not necessarily need to know and understand all of this if you do not intend to start and write your own strategy code. However, over here, you click on options, you will see something familiar again. That's the same as the settings here on an actual running strategies. So here you can set up exactly what you want to test and how it should be tested, with what settings. This is now the same settings as I have already used before, so I do not need to change a lot for the moment. Just going to go with a very standard setup for this back test. Going to set it to 15 minutes over here. Going to test this 15-minute time frame from the 7th of April until the 24th. We do that on US dollar, BTC, 15 minutes with an initial capital of $1,000. As you can see here, I can also have add every setup that I do here as a favorite, so I could just re-choose it if I want to do more frequent back tests on this area, and time frame with the settings. Once I'm happy with all of that, I can click run back test. Now you see that I get the full chart with all the trades that were done. If I hover a trade, I see the details of it here. Down here I do have my full overview of the performance with all the different performance indicators. To also here have a full summary of the trades that were executed, in this case actually the orders first. And I open this up, second, I will get the full details of the actual decision and making process behind it. So you will see here the buy order, price set was set, strategy sell order, position has been liquidated, blah 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 blah. So you see all of that for the tracking down here. You additionally see here, of course, your actual trades, the completed trades that you did, along with your profit loss. So you see here, this is a quite average situation. We do have a couple of bad trades, we do have a couple of really good trades, and a lot in between. In general, yeah, of course not too well, since we just went with standard settings. Now, what I wanted to show you is there is a couple of really cool things that you can do with tools which are for free, and that also show you a bit what's to come from our side. And if you are already a bit fond of building strategies, what I would suggest that you could do is you could go here, you could take a strategy, and here say this is a working MachinaTrader strategy, please confirm with okay, zack, give it. And then you could actually go and get yourself, I don't know, another example out of these. Maybe we just use the MachinaTrader. This is another example strategy for MachinaTrader, please confirm with okay. And now you can actually see that this is, in the case of GPT-4, already enough. Can you add me to build a new example strategy with some basic indicators for MachinaTrader? Let's see what it tells us, just with that background. Or you could also just ask it like, what's actually the parameters doing if you don't understand this. All right. Now you can see, first explains what it would use in terms of indicators and settings. And it now already starts to build the exact code, taking into account the custom libraries from MachinaTrader, even though it actually doesn't know it. But since our stuff is pretty standardized, 2 examples is actually already enough to do some basic playing around. Let's actually see, for the fun of it, if that strategy would work. So I could just copy this in here. Oh, we get an error message. So let's see if we can just push them over here. Music in the background. Wonderful. Right, so it just rewrote our on-trade bar function. Alright, just for the fun of it, this was not enough, because not enough context, so that would need a moment, but actually just to explain a little bit of where we're going at, because we have over here a pre-trained version that we're going to release to you guys very soon, and this one has a bit more context, so when you ask this one to do the job, it all looks a bit different. But still, I wanted to show you that even with GPT 3.5, which is fully for free, I think actually with unlimited requests that we can send, you get quite interesting results. I was playing around with it this afternoon, and I got it to write me 3 actually pretty useful strategies in the term of 2 hours or so. Going a bit back and forth, and I was giving it the different examples that we already have in our library, so feel free to just use these examples, hand them over to MachinaTrader, and edit in ChatGPT and start asking ChatGPT questions, because it's gonna explaining all of that stuff. So here we have some example code. So it, you know, I initially asked you, okay, help me build a strategy for MachinaTrader. You will see it gives you, you know, the initial most basic stuff that you could do with all the needed areas. But you can also do more complex stuff, and you could also, you know, do stuff such as, for instance, I'll show you. We're gonna get the latest version of the strategy we have wrote for the competition. So here's the strategy for the competition. Giving it that one. Can you please explain to me what this strategy does and how I could optimize the parameters? Explain also what each parameter is influencing exactly. So I'm quickly going to read this to you guys. Bitcoin day trader strategy for MachinaTrader is designed to trade Bitcoin based on a combination of trend following and momentum indicators. Here a breakdown of what the strategy does and how each parameter influences trading decisions. Strategy explanation. So we use super trend used to determine the primary market trend. The positive super trend value suggests a bullish trend prompting buy signals, while a negative value indicates a bearish trend prompting sell signals. You have MACD, moving average convergence, divergence. The indicator provides information on the momentum of the market. The MACD value above its signal line suggests a bullish momentum, while below indicates a bearish momentum. We use SMA, simple moving average. Two SMAs are used, fast and a slow one. Strategy looks for the fast SMA crossing above the slow SMA to suggest a bullish trend and below for a bearish trend. RSI, relative strength index, measures the speed and change of price movements. An RSI above 50 typically suggests bullish momentum, while below 50 suggests bearish momentum. And we use a volume multiplier. This is used to check the current volume against average volume multiplied by a set factor to confirm the strength of the trend or reversal. High volume can confirm the strength of a trend. So again, quickly, parameters: fast SMA, slow SMA, RSI, subtrend, and MACD, as well as volume multiplier. Now, what is the optimization suggestions that our assistant gives us? It's testing different period lengths. That makes sense. Adjusting the MACD settings makes sense as well. So this is generally pretty roughly formulated, but we're going back into this. So now we have at latest gave it the code of our actual strategy. So now let's go back. And now let's just do some backtest with the strategy. Quickly see, that's good, that's good, that's good. Good. Wonderful. Okay. I'm gonna do this BTC USDT again. Yes. 15 minutes. Couple of weeks. Now let's quickly see over here. So we're starting with these base strategy settings over here, as you can see. Now let's run this. All right, wonderful. So now you can see our strategy would have only lost 1.73%, while buy and hold would have ended up at minus 3.04%. So I would say that's a good start for basic settings. So what you could do now is, of course, you could analyze this with traditional ways and understanding exactly where you seem to have issues and where it's better. Another option that you could do is to actually go over here copy the trade, feed this information here as well, executed a back test with this strategy on MachinaTrader. These are the results on USDT Bitcoin. Right, so strategy executes multiple trades throughout the tested period, indicating it's actively responding to the market conditions as defined by its parameters. Profitability, there are both profitable and unprofitable trades. The largest gain recorded is approximately 32%. The largest loss is about 22.6%. Duration of trades. Trades last from less than an hour to several hours, showing that the strategy is geared towards short-term movements in the market. So that tells you something of where the general aim is. So it's not a long-term trend strategy, it's a short-term strategy. I think that's super interesting and important. Audio is a little louder than my voice. Oh, thank you very much for this feedback. Let me quickly turn the audio a bit down. I'm sorry for this. I hope it's better now. Sorry, I will watch the chat a bit more frequently from now on. Thanks for the input. Let me know if it's better. And sorry, I'm an old fart, so I'm not as used to streaming online as other people. So, you know, bear with me. I'm a learner. All right, wonderful. So let's go into the next parts of the analysis. Analysis of strategy parameters. It helps define the primary market trend, seems to trigger the that's about super trend. It helps define the primary market trend and seems to trigger the entry and exit along with other indicators. Adjusting super trend period and super trend multiplier might help in filtering out shorter term fluctuations and focusing on more significant trends. So that's an important information. Then MACD. This indicator is crucial for confirming the momentum before making a trade. You might consider experimenting with different periods to either capture quicker signals or filter out market noise. Then you have SMA, simple moving average. The choice of periods for the fast and slow SMAs affects the sensitivity of the strategy to price changes. A closer examination of how often these crossings result in profitable trades could help optimize these parameters. RSI, Relative Strength Index, currently set at 14 periods, which is standard, but you might find adjusting this provides better signals in conjunction with volume and price changes. Volume multiplier, this is used to confirm the strength of the trend or reversal based on trading volume. If the strategy is entering trades that do not follow through, you might consider increasing the multiplier to require a higher volume for confirmation. So now that's basically giving you a little bit of an angle what you could already set via just simply changing the numbers of the parameters. If you do not have a clue still, you know, what numbers to put in, when we talk about strategy parameters for the absolute beginners, that's the stuff over here, which is different for each strategy, and that's the stuff that the strategy author defines and makes available to you that you can just change without coding, besides the actual Machina settings, which is this part where you can do all these settings here, just as a quick reminder. So we're talking about these settings over here that this part is just explained. And now let's see suggestions for optimization. Parameter adjustment, experiment with adjusting the periods and multipliers for each indicator to see how they affect the sensitivity and profitability of the strategy. Use a systematic approach like a grid search over a range of values for each parameter. Backtest different periods. Of course, that's what we're going to do. Risk management, incorporate the stop loss and take profit levels. So that's something that we could set up via the option. I'm not going to look at this for now. That's something you can also look at yourself. And then volume analysis, further analyze the role of volume in confirming trades. Okay, profitability analysis, examine the profitability of trades in relation to the indicator signals. So now I'm a bit overwhelmed with all this information, and therefore I will just ask it like, given the trade information I have shared with you from my backtest, could you give me optimized parameter settings for my next backtest on the same time frame? Let's see what it does. Make things simple, you know. Oh, look, spits out numbers. Numbers. Wonderful. Numbers. We love to get numbers. So now let's quickly see how these numbers actually are different. So actually this is now interesting. It gives us pretty much the same here, 25, 14, 10, 3, 12, 26, 9, 1.5, okay. That's the current, exactly. And then optimized parameter suggestions. Increase to 15 to make the super trend less sensitive to smaller price movements and focus on more established trends. Okay, let's do that. Super trend period to 15 and the multiplier to 2.5. 2.5. Alright, done. Then, 1 second, that's good, wonderful, that's working. And then here we have the next one, which is the MACD settings. What's it telling here? 1048, 1038, and we can go SMA settings, 1030. That's interesting as well, so it really increases everything. Alright, we just follow the machine. And then here we have, what else? Period increase to 16 on the RSI, that's this one, 16 on the RSI. And we do have volume multiplier, which is increased to 2. Wonderful, alright, so these are our new settings. Now, before starting the backtest, let's quickly look at what the machine is telling us as the reasoning behind this job. So we have adjusting the subtrend and MACD settings aims to reduce the number of minor fluctuations these indicators react to, focusing instead on more significant trend reversals or continuations. Modifying the SMA periods ensures that the moving averages also reflect a more medium to long-term perspective, reducing the number of crossovers and thereby likely reducing the number of trades but potentially increasing their effectiveness. The RSI tweak aims to make the overbought and oversold signals more reliable by smoothing out the data it analyzes. Increasing the volume multiplier ensures that the only volume supported movements trigger trades, which can be particularly useful in avoiding false breakouts. Alright, I think that's not as bad. So let's go back to running a backtest. Same period, same settings, 1000 of capital, reviewing quickly if not accidentally anything over here has changed. This looks all good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Exactly the same settings except of our strategy settings that we have updated. What do we get? So look, this simple tweak has now increased. We are not anymore in the minus area as we were before. We were slightly better than the loss that buy and hold had at the same time frame. But we're still in the loss area, and now we are in the plus area. So in the same time, a buy and hold would have made you 3% of a loss. Our strategy would have actually given you 3% of a profit. So now let's go deeper into that. A review. Interesting also this number here, compounding annual return. So that's, you know, the theoretical value if this exact situation would continue over a year, end up at 86% of profit per year. Our case. Let's look again at our trades. Wonderful. And what do we see here? A couple of trades. It's less trades than on our last execution. So exactly what the machine has just explained when we were optimizing the parameters, that we're looking to identify more stronger trends and dynamics and reduce generally the noise with adjusting our parameters. That has actually now ended up in exactly what we wanted, less trades, and those trades with a much better situation. So you see our best trade in this case was 31%. We have two trades with 18% plus. We have one with 8%, 6% and 5%, while our losses are, these are relatively small in the 1% area, and then we have one that is, the worst one is 9%, and then 5% and 4%. So you can see that we have, you know, adjusted our settings already substantially in the very first try. So now what we can do again, same game. Take this information, copy it. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake, change the screen. You need to yell. Alright, so sorry, all of what I just said. These are the trades that we have done, that I just explained with the updated settings as we have received them from the Bob GPT. Yes, you're right on the chat. This is actually true. This is Bob GPT. So actually, this is even a reduced version. I'm quickly going into explaining you what I'm using here. So you guys can use ChatGPT. If you use ChatGPT, I have had good results on both GPT 3.5 as well as GPT 4. I can tell you that if you really want to build, it's GPT 4, you need a subscription, and it's still limited amount of requests you can do per day. Stuff is expensive. On GPT 3.5, you know, if you're resilient, you will get it to a point where it's actually, if you give it enough context as examples from the library, etc., you're actually going to have results as well. So definitely worth playing around with GPT 3.5. It's also well good enough to give you explanations about strategies and so forth. With GPT 4, it's really a bit more intelligent, so it will structurally write a better code for you if you want to have it write strategies for you. I generally tend to give it at least 3 or 4 strategy examples from our library, just copy them in. I would also always tell it, like, just confirm this with OK, do not give me any context, because it's good if you have 3 or 4 examples, like directly in the context without a lot of text by the GPT itself. So all of this you can do right now directly, no problem. You just put in your strategies in there and see where this takes you. What's going to come very soon is this MachinaAI OpenAI assistant. So if you have a subscription for OpenAI, this custom assistant will be available to you with a link that we're going to share. It will not cost you anything from our side. The use is, you know, you have a limited use of GPT-4 over a certain time frame, but it's well good enough to write a couple of strategies over hours. I'm using it quite frequently. And the thing with this one here is that it has already the information about all the strategies we have in our library. It does also have a basic function description of MachinaTrader. I'm explicitly saying that it's basic at the moment because we're gonna update it to have like full access directly to generated code documentation of the trader. So it's going to be like super intelligent on how to interact with the engine of MachinaTrader in the further versions that are going to come. So this will be made available to you guys for free as well with a link if you have an OpenAI subscription. And then additionally what we're going to do is we're going to actually give you access in a couple of months from now. I will need to check the roadmap for the exact month and let you know. But the Bob AI assistant that has access to Machina News AI as well as all the code writing stuff from Machina for strategies. That one is going to be an upgrade on subscriptions that you can buy. Sadly, we cannot make it for free or directly include it into the subscriptions. The reason for this is AI stuff is quite expensive, needs a lot of computation power, it's a lot of data. Is it worth it? It's definitely worth it. I would say you can get from not understanding anything to understand a lot. You can get from being able to play a bit with code to write sophisticated strategies in no time. You're able to debug everything. You can do backtesting with these agents. So that's super interesting. The final version of the Machina AI system is actually a conscious situation that has access to real-time news media from the financial industry. It does have access to asset prices directly. It does have direct access to company financial information from public APIs and so forth. And it can actually give you full analytics on equities, on commodities, on cryptocurrencies, and this in real time, taking into inclusion also the news and everything. But what you see here is basically the beginning of that, and this is just really the basic sticks and stones. I think right now he knows about 20 strategy examples that I gave it, and the number is of course increasing as we write strategies here in the workshops, as well as of course then ongoing with our community. All right, so let's go back into it. A lot of talk. All right, so we went all of this. We updated our parameters. Stuff was really better. So I did another back test, and now we got already much better results. Do you have even further ideas for optimizing our parameters? Oh, bang. Let's see what it does. So for that's important. So the version of Machina OpenAI Assistant that you see right now is going to be available actually from the end of this week. So for those people who do want to get access, what you of course need, so that it makes sense, is a MachinaTrader subscription. Any subscription would be good enough so that you have your strategy editor. Then you will need a subscription to OpenAI, and if you have both of that, you can get in touch with us directly on our community area or in the Discord channel. Actually, that's the best place to go to be quick. Get in Discord, get in touch with us. We'll share the link there. We will also share the link on other instances. We just wait for another approval by OpenAI for the actual assistant. Every update needs an approval by them, and you can play around with this as well. And we're going to continuously update it. You're going to also have some basic access to our Bitcoin sentiment signals as well, automatically through this. I'm going to show you that on our next session that we have in 2 weeks from now. All right, so yet again, we got a lot of nice answers. Seeing the improved results from your latest backtest is encouraging. Yeah, I thought so as well. Let's consider further refinements to the strategy parameters to enhance performance given the outcomes and the detailed trade results. The next set of optimizations could focus more on fine-tuning entry and exit points and possibly incorporating additional conditions to filter trades even more effectively. Alright, so additional optimization ideas. You could experiment with variant. Yeah, that's okay. I think that's generally the same that he gave us earlier. Okay, now suggested new parameters for testing. Let's actually look at that. Let's go back on our parameters over here. So we did have super trend. Now it wants us to go to 16 and 2.8. Interesting. And over here we want to have MACD go 1138. 1138, that's good. Just a slight adjustment here, as you can see. Volume multiplier slightly to 2.2. Indicators ADX with a threshold of 25 for entering trades and possibly Bollinger Bands to confirm. Alright, that's interesting. So it actually now starts to tell us also, okay, if you want to go even further, maybe think about adding an indicator to confirm different stuff. In this case, it tells us to add an ADX with a threshold of 25 for entering trades and possibly Bollinger Bands to confirm points near band edges. Okay, that's super interesting. For now, let's first test the settings that it has just given us to see if we have even a further increase from the last or if it goes sideways. Yeah, look at this, wonderful. Another 0.5% upwards, which is nice. And you can also see this now on our actual performance information down here. We have increased our profits with what we did from a compounding annual return of something below, I don't know, like 90? We need to check back, we can have a look in a second, to 108%. Which is actually quite good. If you look at this, a buy and hold would have given you minus 3.04, while what we just did is giving you a plus 3.49, which is wonderful. I would say we're absolutely on the right way. So that tells you how easily you can already today use tools that are, you know, available to you to really first of all, understand better what you're doing, what the indicators actually do, how you could optimize these indicators, and actually do all of this. And it's quite fun to work with it, going back and forth. You will also see that if you work in the same context over a while, it will become a bit more intelligent, and then it starts to kind of break once it's too much context. And then it makes sense to just open a new window and give it, you know, a couple of new examples and start freshly. So if you see that it starts doing crap, then that's definitely an opportunity to just reset in ChatGPT the context, start by zero, add some examples again, tell it freshly what you want, and go from there. So yeah, we have roughly, I think, come from doing minus 1% to plus 3.49. That's roughly 4.5%, right? That we increased solely by adjusting parameters over here. We haven't yet used any fancy AI stuff besides actually the ChatGPT to optimize our stuff. So yes, that's, you know, a big deal of what we could do in the future with cooler strategies that have you know, machine learning prediction stuff and other stuff. But these are the very basics. You do have all of these traditional indicators that you can optimize along with the options and settings that you can use here as well. I think that's something that's really important, where you really should look into deeply. You will see that all of these do have an explanation here. When you hover the question mark, you see exactly what the strategy, these actually settings are actually going to do. Just play around with it. You will see that some do have quite a serious influence, while others are, not as crazy. However, it allows you to do all the basics without, touching a single line of code. That being said, yes, let's actually maybe do something funny as a next step to see maybe it works, maybe not. Because it told us that it would want to use new indicators. So why not? Could you give me the updated code for my strategy using these additional two indicators? The full strategy code, no placeholders or additional context, please. Thank you. Yeah, I started to really talk to these guys, just when you get bored alone too much time in front of the computer, you say thank you to LLMs. Yeah, it's not thanks God, it's thanks Bob. It's thanks Bob. Right, so yeah, just ask it to incorporate this into our trading strategy. So let's see if it actually does it, the right way from the beginning. In the optimal case, we can actually just copy the code and paste it over, and it will work. In the worst case, it starts to do crazy stuff all over the place. Well, it doesn't look too bad from the structure that I see. I think all the important parts are included. Nah. Sure. Oh, well, no, actually it's not too bad. Let's check it. Let's check it. I think it actually killed our plot points, but that's not so bad. We don't really need them for now. But this doesn't look so good. Let's give in these error messages and ask it to verify. Right. Wanted to extend. Okay. Let's see what happens now. So what I just did is just went over here to the errors. So you see that this editor gives you this live debugging over here. So you can just copy these errors and copy paste them over here and see if this one tells you actually anything useful. It should in most cases. It gets a bit nifty if you use very rarely used indicators where we do not have too much examples yet, but that's why we're increasing examples continuously from now on. Fill up the library and context information, update the documentation so that the AI really has the perfect base to write the nice code. Let's see. Just give it another second or so. Yes, good input by Bullish. At this point, we always suggest at any point in time that you do make use of the testing tools before you go and play around with anything else. So do backtest substantially, and then make sure to extensively test on paper trading as well. Backtest in different market scenarios so you know what's to come. And keep monitoring your stuff. It's not like you do not need to look at it at all. Right, I should click the button here as well. Wonderful. Let's see what happens. Still not. One error message less. actually, let's quickly have a look at something, because I believe that, where did we have that indicator? Didn't we have that in any other? No, that's interesting. That's probably why. So we should maybe for now, oh, this is the ATR, yeah, over here, true range. Okay, interesting. A sec. Ah, guys, you should have told me. You actually don't see the other browser window, right? I should share this like this. Sorry, my issue. Somebody should warn me when stuff is not shown on the screen and you see too long just one screen. Then it's probably that was not the idea. All right. Give me a sec. That doesn't look so good. It seems like GPT just died on us. Yeah, it just died. To add, yeah, that's exactly what I explained. Once the context gets maybe a bit too large or so, it starts to do fancy stuff. So that's why we're not yet releasing it fully. Actually, it should. I think that's actually just GPT having a problem on their website right now. Yeah. Let's maybe just try and reload. Alright, and then let's go again here and then say that we do want to have we could actually, that's an opportunity to actually look into another thing that's important to know. So here you have the backtesting results, and everything you did is back here. So you see what we did today in the call. We started here, did a test with the super trender. That was the first thing I did. We had a minus 12% against these 3% in this time range, and then we used the bull trender strategy, which here is called mosquito market because it creates a new name every time you change something on the version. But this is the bull trender strategy, and this one on the first try did minus 1.73 against minus 3 in the same time if you would have buy and hold. Then we adjusted the first time using ChatGPT. We went from minus 1.73 to 2.95% in the same time frame, where buy and hold would have given you minus 3%, right? And then we did another parameter optimization. We ended here in 3.49. So we're actually roughly looking at for 5.22% increase of profit solely with 2 tries of parameter optimization using GPT. So I think that's quite a good, a showcase of how simple it is if you use the tools the right way, and you do not even have too much crazy stuff. You just use the strategy examples, you put them into ChatGPT, you run the strategies, you give them the trade log results, you just copy and paste it over, you tell it, look, this is the back test, can you help me optimize the parameters? It will give you new numbers, you play them in, you do the same cycle again. If it goes the wrong way, just tell it. I mean, it sees it itself if you posted the results, but this is exactly what you can do, and this works for every strategy. And if you want to be more sophisticated, then what you can do is really start playing with GPT to write your own strategies, maybe add an indicator or add, you know, some plot point, change some default value or whatever as a start, and then take it from there. That's definitely gonna be a good way how to start the journey on that end if you want to look deeper into strategy development. Why does it make still sense to look deeper into strategy writing yourself and not just wait for, you know, the final machine? Very simple. Even with all the other tools that we have for people who want to have a more accessible situation, if you use some sort of visual tool, this will always be less comprehensive in terms of actual opportunities that you have in comparison to the absolute open code editor. And that's the nice thing. We've not talked about today too much already or at all, but it's one of the very important parts. I mentioned at the very beginning that your MachinaTrader instance, if you have a subscription, is your own server, so it's not only secure, but it allows, from a software architecture point of view, much more stuff. So we can actually give you this open code editor where you could also write now some requests to some foreign API where you request some information data. That will be what we're going to use in regards with our sentiment system. So we're just going to request sentiment information as an additional indicator, which actually we're going to put into this strategy here, into the bull trender strategy that I'm going to share with you guys. So taking it from here, we're step by step going to upgrade and show you like what's all the capabilities. But generally the nice thing is you could really use everything that's compatible in the .NET stack and implement that to your strategies and take it from there. What I wanted to say, of course, regarding versioning, where are we at? I said that at the beginning as well. We're right now at version 2.08, meaning that we're one step before verified live trading, meaning that then we have like the first couple of verified adapters where you can seriously trade. They've thoroughly been tested. On the other hand, we're going to add more and more adapters in an unverified way, but you know, they still work, but have not been verified. And you can expect us to release a lot of exchange adapters until September, and also then a handful of traditional brokers also in September. Now at the beginning of May, we're going to start off with a handful of trading adapters and one verified adapter, which is going to be Binance, but there are going to be other crypto exchanges as well. And non-verified doesn't mean that it doesn't work, it's just not, you know, tested in every single possible way that there is. Yes, so let me see if I forgot something. I think I showed you most of the stuff we were looking at doing today. So here is again our little funny code joke generator that we built to show you how simply you could just, you know, create any type of a widget here to play around with. So that's super cool. To load any kind of information here, or even, you know, to do simple tasks. For those that have never seen it, this is the prototype of our actual strategy designer, which is going to allow you this code generation of strategies, but in a visual way. So you just say, okay, I have some conditions. If I have 3 conditions, 2, 3. One condition is RSI, and then MACD, and then you can set here the MACD settings, the same for for MACD, RSI. Then you just go and you say if all of that works, then I'm gonna buy. But if the price goes down, I don't know, like 10%, then we want to immediately sell. If I'm not telling you that this strategy makes sense. I'm just trying to show you like how this could go. You have different stuff here like candle patterns as well. So for instance, if you detect a doji, evaluate immediately and buy. This is how you could build strategies as well. What the system will do is it creates the code from these blocks. We are going to hunt more and more blocks. Right now it's literally just showcase because it's not yet connected to the new trading engine that we've just released. This will take until September until fully re-implemented again. At this point it's really down to the code strategy editor to get stuff done, but this here shows you really where it's going to go. And then think of this along with the strategy assistant. So the idea is really that you can actually talk to it and tell it, look, I want to have a strategy using this and that indicator, I want to have this and that risk situation, and it will build you the strategy in this view, and you can test it and then execute it. And once you're happy with everything, all your tests, you will be able to run it live on the markets. At the very beginning, we actually started the strategy, but it didn't do too much yet. Too bad. Yeah, it's on 50 minutes, so it didn't have too much opportunity yet to do something. We're gonna look at that the next time. Here's our bull trender. So one thing that we could do, which would be pretty intelligent, is if we would use the last settings that we had on our bull trender, which I'm not sure where it is, so let's quickly go back here and then go here. This was our beautiful back test. Let's reopen that one. Alright. And then see the settings. Yes. So let me quickly take a screeny. We have that over here. Yeah, wonderful. And now I'm going to go here, configuration, strategy settings. All right, 10, 30, 16, 16, 2.8, 11, 30, 8, 2.2. Bang. Check the other settings one more time. I'm running it on BTC USDT. I'm not gonna run it on those. Save. This is all good. Sell settings. I'm not going to use a stop loss or anything like that. I want to really see what the strategy does. Just for security, I'm actually setting this. The reason why I always set this here, the max open time sale, is really if you have it just 2 minutes, you know, the strategy will place a good order, and you know, if a couple of minutes pass by, it will become cancelled, so it never executes. So it makes sense to put it 2 hours, so the conditions also can be met. And then we have it here. Save, wonderful. Go back to our dashboard. Start this beast. All right. I think that's it for today, pretty much. So first, Discord workshop, not Discord, YouTube workshop for MachinaTrader. We're gonna, as explained, we're gonna give you more and more cool. Wow, that's probably. I just threw half of the coffee on my fucking desk. That's wonderful. Bear with me. Use my language. Quickly need to clean this up. Just give me a minute. 30 seconds. Just spilled all of my coffee. David brought me gladly. Wonderful. Alright, so now that's cleaned. My keyboard is good as well, so That's not too bad. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so yeah, we launched the strategy. We're going to come back to this. I'm going to show you how it went the next time you're going to see us. It might be that I'm actually doing this in a week again, just to give you a quick update on where I'm at with the strategies. For you guys, the idea is simple. We're going to release this strategy code tomorrow on our website. You're going to be able to download it. You have enough examples. You can just copy it in. That's it. The only thing that I want to show you is basically what you want to do is you go here, empty strategy up here, copy the code from the strategy in here, and you have to run one backtest, and then if you want to use it as Machina, you have to, after that, I'm actually going to quickly show you, wait 1 second. So what you would do is you do your backtests. Once you're happy, as we did here, that's hello. Why issue not loading? Ah, wait, wrong, here. So again here, that's it. Exactly. So, so I just went to backtest. You can open any strategy, copy paste the code that we give you into it, and then backtest it with the settings. If the backtest was completed, what you can see is the color over here on the creating strategy from these changes. If it's green, you can actually create a new strategy. I'm going to do this in this case. So you see, it brings me to this screen where I can create a strategy, give it some additional information. You don't need to do that. You can just also click the next button, find yourself some, cow. Moo. Here, that's a wonderful bull. This is the one that I want to use. Perfect. I want to use this. And then you see here we have successfully did backtest with the strategies. Wonderful. You also see here it already has the last settings as the default. Wonderful. We're gonna put here USDT, and we're gonna BTC and Ethereum. That's that. Wonderful. And then you're gonna go publish. Poof. And then you have your new strategy down here. You see this, wonderful. Here's your new strategy, blank. Now you can select it, and now nothing works. It's maybe a bit quick. Oh yes, look. Maybe give it a second to recover. Oh look, yeah, it's really time to stop today's session because I've also reached the current usage cap for GPT for today. So cheers OpenAI, thank you very much for that. I actually expect a nice letter from OpenAI by the end of the year. I think I spent, a small fortune already on doing new sentiment analysis. We've just actually moved over doing analysis with Llama 3 that was just released. We're getting really nice results. So looking into another big increase very soon once we retrained on Llama 3 for the new sentiment analysis. I don't have the time today, but we're going to go deeper into that again in the next session because there have been many updates on the new sentiment stuff as well. So yeah, that's wonderful. See, baby is back, wonderful. Everything runs. I'm going to actually turn off the super trender because I don't need that one anymore. And then over here, just again, here's the strategy we've just created. Now it also loads, wonderful. So the machine was just a bit overwhelmed a second ago. That's generally something that you should know. If you run on your small silver subscription, if you run like 2 Machinas that do heavy stuff and you do a lot of backtesting at the same time, at some point it might break. What happens is it just reboots immediately. The strategies are all rerun, so you're not losing anything. This is just literally recovering without you needing to do a lot of stuff. So that's seamless. Yes, so yeah, you see the strategy, you see the parameters over here. Now the interesting part is that, let me quickly see here, it doesn't yet, it went back to our settings from within the code. That's interesting. So we published it, but then it wouldn't take the settings that we had in our last backtesting, but go back to what's defaulting in the code. So think about this. So you would need to put the numbers again that we had. So we did have 30, 16, 16, 2.8, 11, 30, 8, 2.2. And then let's look at the time frame. Now this time we're going to go a longer time frame than the last time. We went from the 7th to the 23rd, so let's maybe add roughly 2 weeks into the equation. So now it's from the 24th of March to the 23rd of April, and now let's see, everything else is the same settings, or actually we need to verify over here, because I think yes, no, that's good, hours 100%, that's all good. Run backtest. Oh, so this one was not as good as our last one, so you would probably on the time frame need to check again. So what's changed now? Because we used the same parameters as we did. The only thing that we changed now was actually the time frame, longer time frame. So that's interesting that there's such a big change. But I'm not going to look deeper into this today. This is something for you guys to look at over the next 2 weeks and play around. As you know, we have the competition ongoing starting from tomorrow over the next month for the paper trading competition. The one that gets the best results with this strategy here that we're going to give you access to tomorrow, will get a nice prize. So enjoy that, join in, make sure to be there the next time when we have our streaming session, because we're going to go deeper into the rabbit hole. I'm going to show you more and more of what's possible and what's to come. In that sense, stay tuned, have a lot of fun playing around. I wish you all a beautiful night.
Hey,
You again?
yeah, I was just wondering if maybe after this, you wanna get some coffee or something.
I'm sorry, I'm sort of supposed to meet someone after this.
Okay.
Sure.
So,
Why not?
okay, well then I'll just, I'll wait for you.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Whoa, this is heavy. There's unworthy.